Ahoy there, friends, and welcome back to Hot Springs Island. Allow us to join the crew in chat. Ahoy!
Hello.
Alrighty, Dust, we remember the last thing we did.
I remember nothing, ever.
We were camping out next to a big lizard, I believe, and we are going to enter... No, actually, we went into like a weird time warp zone.
Bingo! Alright, yeah, so fast forward just a wee bit. We are indeed doing the time warp. Okay, this is going to be slightly confusing, so I apologize. I will reiterate if I need to, but as we mentioned, you guys spoke with Meltalia, or I guess Sarabi did. You got into her changing room. She cannot hear you. You cannot touch her. You phased through the door. Lekka, you're in quantum dress right now. You got naked because elves. Then you're like, oh, they can't see me naked, so I'm not sure what you're doing with that situation. And
I think I put my clothes back on after that.
I think so, but I think you're in the middle of putting your pants back on. I ain't gonna make you finish that. You can do what you want, buddy. Be free. In terms of...
He's very disappointed right now because they can't see him. He
That's
wants
fair.
to blend in.
That is fair. You would blend in very well. To super reiterate, the most important thing is that for us, when we entered, 4 a.m. When we entered this area, though, it looked like it was about noon. That's very important. I'll keep you guys updated on how that whole situation is working. But other than that, the floor is yours. We can start with you, Sarabi, if you wish, since you were standing effectively face-to-face with her.
Yeah, but I couldn't interact with her.
Correct.
Probably also forgot my train of thought that day.
Did you try poking her?
Yeah,
Or
I'm pretty sure I
Did she just
did.
ignore you?
I'm pretty sure I tried poking.
If you want to quickly try anything and I just throw it at you real quick, let me know.
Alright, I'll try poking her.
As you try touching her, you are correct. Nothing happens. She does nothing. Not just, sorry, you can't poke her. You literally phase through her. Sorry, let me be
I was
really
gonna
specific.
say.
I kind of want to just watch.
Basically just checking her out.
Yeah, like, I assume she's going to do a concert, and then I really want to see what she does afterwards, or the moment when this loops, if it happens before then.
That very much works. During this time, you are essentially just watching her, and she is indeed getting ready. She finished basically her meet and greet. She kind of pieced out to go change. All she's really doing right now is changing. She's kind of just humming to herself and just sort of looking about. The two of you, though, so I'll update you, Sarabi, Aldrin and Lekka, as you guys are seeing people rush about. You can't talk to them. They can't talk to you. What are you two doing?
Probably still trying to talk to people, just like, hey, what's going on? Where am I? What's happening?
All right,
They
you're
aren't
being
real.
horribly
This is all fake.
ignored.
No.
This
Is there
way too advanced
anything-
to be an illusion, though.
Is there anything interesting in her preparations? I mean, I imagine I'm quite knowledgeable on a fashionable lady's prep, so is there anything odd about it?
Nothing odd about it, no. You do notice since you can get very close to her, she was initially, as she walked in, fairly hyped and fairly excited to get the business going and, ready for this concert. But that excitement is fading away ever so slightly, and her humming kind of stops, and she looks a little more stern, like she's contemplating something.
Well, I'm damn it, why can't I talk to her? I'm very good. I'm going to keep keenly watching and maybe hope she mumbles something.
Alrighty. While you are watching, it's difficult to make out precisely what she's saying, but you can't get close enough, fortunately, because she can't hear you. And essentially what you're gathering from her is not full sentences. She's like half thinking out loud. But you get the feeling that while she's excited for this concert, there's someone or someones in the crowd that's giving her second thoughts. Not in a I'm embarrassed kind of way, in a I might be in danger kind of way.
She's outside about to perform or mumbling that she's concerned about someone?
While she's in her changing room, she's mumbling this.
All right, well, when she leaves, I want to see where her eyes go.
Alrighty. It doesn't take her too long to get changed. She's mostly just freshening up. And she turns, walks right through you, Sarabi, and begins to head out. While this is happening, Aldrin and Lekka, are you guys looking around? You guys poking anything, doing anything? A quick reminder, there is art everywhere, but it is explicitly not of elves or dwarves. You guys, like I mentioned that, Sarabi, you pulled some out, so.
I assume I
And the
saw
dwarves.
Sarabi walk through the door, right?
Had you guys followed her, yes, you would have seen her do that.
I'm not sure if I did follow her.
I mean, during this time, you guys can easily walk through a wall, touch stuff. I'm sure, that would be a natural
Definitely tried
response.
touching stuff. Actually, we did take something from here, right? Out of the barrier.
Yes,
It was
Sarabi leaned through and grabbed, I think, a little halfling statue and then kind of pulled it through. And when she was halfway, it felt weird, but when she came through all the way, she felt just fine. And the statue
itself
didn't explode, didn't turn to dust.
didn't decay either or something?
Nope, didn't decay. Nothing happened to it.
There are things we can still touch here.
Yeah, before she leaves, can I attempt to touch something on like a table that she might notice?
I was
Yes.
gonna try touching literally everything.
Walking around so quickly to Sarabi, you start trying to touch things, and your hands are phasing through everything. The desk, the table, her perfume, makeup, everything. You try touching, like, a portrait on the wall of some elves, like, getting it on, and you can't touch it at all. Your hands phase right through it. You see next to that a smaller portrait of a human, and they're all, like, stacked up in, like, a pyramid, and they're like, ah! And you see the very top human. They stand out more than the others. There's more detail in just them in general. The lighting seems to be focused on them. You can touch this painting. It comes right off the wall.
Okay, so if I pull it off, what happens next? Does she notice?
She doesn't seem to notice. She just keeps walking. Mainly because it happened behind her.
Can I dash over to her and wave it in front of her face?
As you attempt to do this, you wave it in front of her face. She doesn't really respond at all. And you end up like kind of waving it through her, and it just phases right on through her.
Strange.
And then to Lekka, you also touch plenty of things. Art, you can't, the food looks great. You can't touch it though. Drinks look great. Everything looks fantastic. Incredibly decadent. And you can't touch any of it. But you can touch some of the art. Explicitly, the art, sculptures, paintings, any type of thing that is non-elf, non-dwarf. You can touch those.
Wait, so I can't touch the non-elf stuff, but I can't touch the elf stuff?
Correct. Your
Is
hands
that what you're
phase.
saying?
Your hands. There's like a sculpture of an elf. Your hands phase through it. There's a sculpture of a kobold. You can touch it. You can pick it up. It doesn't feel strange in any way at all. It doesn't sizzle in your hands. It feels as if you pick this up on any day of the week.
Is it anatomically correct?
Yeah, very much so. And it's quite beautiful. In fact, every piece of art we're finding here is quite gorgeous.
Lekka's gonna laugh and put it in his bag.
Consider it yoinked.
Assuming it's a small one, right?
Oh, yeah. Party. And then after all that, Sarabi, you're able to follow her down the steps. And she descends to the first floor, and she moves backstage. Back here, we can see her preparing last minute, and like, la 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 la, just kind of doing her thing. And she's speaking with another Nereid. A bit happier. Her face lights up a nice amount at this. And for about 15 or so minutes, she'll basically be preparing for said show. While she is doing this, I'll probably say Sarabi is watching her, prepping Aldrin and Lekka. You see everyone getting ready to move into the auditorium. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna effectively go around and inspecting shit, I guess, sticking my head through walls or doors that are open. I'll see what's inside.
Anything that looks like it should be here, you can phase right on through. Your head pops on through. You don't even feel a damn thing. It's like it's not even there. Looking about, you see a few other Nereids, but not really all that many. The main ones you see, if you were to go backstage, you would see Meltalia and a friend of hers. Everywhere else, you see a ton of elves. They are all over the place. And they are very excited for whatever this concert is. Are you looking for anything in particular, or kind of just looking about?
Anything that looks interesting, honestly.
Unfortunately, a lot of it looks interesting, but you
people-
can't touch it.
People
No.
speaking in like hushed tones and like a hidden room, stuff like that.
Well, hidden rooms wouldn't be much of a problem. You're able to find a room that you can probably assume might be locked. It's not a changing room. There are many rooms for, snorting it up and shooting up off to the side. And you notice these aren't like secret rooms. It's like, hey, if you want to, do your thing without being observed, you are more than welcome to do so. If you want to get, bang one out real quick, that's what this is for. And you're able to kind of sneak into one of those rooms, and you don't see people just going to town on it. Instead, you do indeed hear hushed tones. You see like three individuals that are kind of crowded around, and they're just speaking with each other. And as you get closer, you can sort of hear what they're talking about. And it's a lot. It's in Elvish. Would you have cast any spells prior to this, knowing that there's just elf here?
Did I already cast comprehend language at this point?
I'm not sure, but you
Don't
probably
remember.
would have, right?
If there's anything to read, sure.
Yeah, there's plenty to read. I forgot. This comprehend language is also let you hear properly?
Hear and speak, I believe, right?
Hear and speak, okay. So then, yes, I would say logically, it's been about 15, 20 minutes or so. You would have, by this point, looking around, you've been like, okay, I am completely surrounded by elves. This logically makes sense. So yeah, it's a 5-minute ritual? So then, with all that, you're able to get a little bit closer. And now that you guys are moving around, a lot of the speech seems to be very garbled. It's like, whoa, 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 until you get close. Very, very peanuts. Until you get super close, then you can kind of hear what they're saying. And these ones they're speaking in Elvish, and you can understand them, but they're also speaking in code. It's relatively difficult to make out precisely what they mean by what they're saying. So I would say, Lekka, roll me intelligence.
Straight intelligence?
A 13. Getting closer and closer, you can make out a few words, or at least you think you can. Like I said, they are in Elvish, but they're very much speaking in code. And they're trying to be quiet. This is almost too complicated. You know no one would hear them where they are right now, unless this room is bugged in some way, shape, or form. But you can hear them mention something about a blade, and like, is it ready? And the it they're referring to, who knows what it is, but the tone they're using, it almost sounds like they mean for violence. The rest is very difficult to discern, though. And then while Luck is checking people, Sarabi is backstage. Aldrin, you doing anything in particular?
I feel like I would probably just be helping Lekka, but he doesn't really need help.
Okay.
I mean, you can help me check every single room. Maybe
We
you'll
go
find a
through
different
every
room.
single room.
I mean, there's a lot of rooms here. Might as well.
There are indeed many rooms. And in these many rooms, like I said, you find more art. There's not even almost. There is legitimately just too much to look through. Just way too much. You find like a tapestry, like a floor mosaic. You find some nice paintings. They're all over the place. There's like a grotto. There's like the nice tapestries hanging from there. There's just beauty everywhere. And by this point, people are beginning to leave. They're going, like I said, they're going to the auditorium, and they are indeed preparing for this show that is on the way. And by this point, you don't hear anything interesting, Sarabi, but Meltalia is speaking to another Nereid. After she finishes preparing and speaking with this Nereid, you can tell that the show is indeed ready to begin. You guys can hear this and obviously sense it. Aldrin, like while the show is beginning, where are you guys positioning yourselves?
The best place I can get with a view. Is it like a balcony or something?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Perfect.
I feel like a balcony's not great for me.
I'll reserve some seats. I mean, we won't be able to interact with any of this anyway.
True. I guess I'll just go with like a
I
balcony.
hope.
Yeah, so
we're about to die.
Probably don't think about it too much, but you guys can't ascend and descend stairs. As long as you're like, I'm going upstairs, then you're going upstairs. You're good. You don't fall through the floor. You can't fly though, so no flying. Yeah, no ghosty powers. Yeah, actually gotta walk around. You can face through also, so that's great. You can face through the floor technically. Fly. Yeah, technically, yeah. But yeah,
I can fly 10 feet at a time.
Face through the floor, so that's something. Looking at all this, it is. Let's say that there's a in the back of this auditorium. There's a large golden ornate clock, and we can tell it's around 12:30 by this point. And at this point, the show begins. There's some warm-up exercises, and Meltalia comes out, looking gorgeous as ever. There's a hush as the lights strike her, and she begins to sing. And as with the other Nereids, her voice is indescribably beautiful. She's clearly a master of her art. I would say, Lekka, you notice that some of the individuals that you saw, the hush-hush ones, some of them are in the front row, there are some far back, and you notice they're not interested in really watching the show, they're watching their surroundings. And back here, Sarabi, you can see some of the folk in the first row are watching Meltalia, but they're not watching her with awe.
Did she look at someone in particular when she came out for like even a brief moment?
She scanned the crowd. She didn't see anyone in particular, though, as it's difficult to see. The lights are dimmed.
Okay. Do any of the sus people do anything weird?
Not initially, no. But
I'll have Daniel check out different spaces that are hard for me to reach, like, I don't know, backstage or something.
Sure. He'll fly about and share his vision to the best of his ability. Or if he finds anything interesting, he'll page you. Within 15 or so minutes, the introductory song and dance seems to be over. There were a few, like I said, smaller bands that begun, basically. And then Meltalia came out in earnest after that. The first song is paused. It's around 12:45 now. It's the end of the large clock. And the second song then begins. While this is happening, though, are you up top, Aldrin, with Lekka? Are you somewhere else?
I don't know. Assuming that... Oh, I would just be assuming that I can't interact with anything, so I would have just gone with Lekka up top.
And Sarabi, since no one can see you, you don't need to stay backstage, but you're on the floor level. What are you doing?
I would know. I was thinking I'm probably on stage.
Excellent.
Of course, Sarabi wants to be on stage. I mean, what?
Hey, I have my moments when I'm there.
Share a spotlight with her.
I do usually have the spotlight, though, yes. Anyway, DM.
As her second song begins, you notice the individuals up front, Sarabi, in the front and second row. It looks initially like they're singing along, but you can tell for a few seconds that they very much are not. Their lips are not matching anything being said on stage. Do you respond to this at all?
That I can't read lips.
Or speak Elvish?
Yes, you can.
With your one use.
Yeah, can I use it right now?
Do you want to?
I mean, it probably seems important, I guess.
All right, you're more than welcome to. That is your one use. Wherever that bad boy is, it shouldn't really have any uses in it, but you can just go ahead and mark it as used.
What's it a part of again?
The pearl of the gem, yeah.
There's a gem that he
Restore
gave
from
you.
the bath.
Yeah.
Or the pool of mithril, whatever.
Basically stored a spell in it for you to touch and use for your own. As you touch this, Sorabi, she is indeed singing in Elvish, so now it's beautiful and you can understand. The lyrics are sad, but hopeful at the same time. There's a lot of emotion in this. You can't hear the people up front, though, so I assume you did this so you could hear them?
Yeah, and I'll move closer to them.
All right, as you move closer to them, you can tell that they're not singing normally. Their voices are inverted.
I'm sorry, what does that mean?
They're singing backwards.
That's talent.
That's
a lot of
weird.
talent, actually.
Whether you understand Elvish or not, this is completely incomprehensible. And they started quiet, so getting close was smart. After a moment, though, you can look back to Meltalia and see that she notices something. Lucky, you now also see this. And Aldrin, you can see it as well from where you guys are. Her body language has changed. She's a little more defensive as of current. And the individuals up front, they stand. And their singing turns into a chorus as other individuals begin to stand up throughout the crowd. People panic instantly. And suddenly, the few Nereids that you saw joining her in song, her friend that she spoke with in the back, they're pulled apart. Their bodies are ripped and shredded as they shoot off to the left and to the right. And it looks as if they are, it's difficult to tell in the dark, but some people are able to light the room a bit better during this panic. As not everyone is completely high off their rocker, you can see that some of these Nereids are being pulled into various paintings on the wall, and they're moving and they look panicked inside them, but they cannot escape. Meltalia dodges or moves whatever this thing is. It's difficult to tell, but now other figures, they're pulling out bladed weapons and such, and with no regard towards anyone around them, people in the first row and the second row are being eviscerated and torn apart by both the magic and these weapons, as some turn to defend her, but they are cut down instantly. They then begin to rush Meltalia on stage. Of course, her singing, and all singing has completely stopped. But unfortunately, she realized what this is too late. You can see that on her face, though. And she utters words. You can feel magic pulse forth from the stage, temporarily overpowering whatever spell these fools have brought with them. And in this moment, you see Meltalia pulled apart into two separate statues. One on one of the various banisters up top, and another is pushed back onto the stage. The one on stage, as you whip your head around, you can see is wearing the tiara that she was wearing.
I grab it.
As you reach out to grab this tiara, Sorabi, you can feel a very powerful something thrumming in your hands. This doesn't feel like the other pieces of art you touched or anything you've touched here at all. It feels wholly different. But as you do, it melts, liquefying, turning into water, dripping between your fingers. Everything around all of you begins to melt as the walls, the ceiling, chairs, people, all begins to turn back into water. And as that happens, everything blurs. It's quickly reformed, and it's now 11 o'clock. The auditorium is mostly empty.
I'll shout down. So that's what happened.
Can I try to grab the same statue?
It is not there.
I'll try to grab or see if any of the portraits that we saw the Nereids get dragged into are still there as well. Or if
Oh,
they're
yeah.
all gone.
There are still empty portraits lining the walls of the auditorium, and they don't seem to have a focus. They're just landscapes, jungles, forests, the ocean, a desert, things like that.
Like the physical object is still there
Mhm.
that we can touch.
These you cannot touch. They're part of this illusion.
Well, I guess that means we're gonna have to find the actual portraits. Have to be somewhere.
Can I pull out my drawing book and sketch what they look like?
The portraits?
Yeah.
Of course, it'll take you a hot second. While she's doing that, Aldrin and Leka, what are you guys trying to focus on right now?
I mean, I'm gonna take a few minutes to see if there's any portraits that are still there. Probably not, but
Main
I'm going
area
to be
ones.
thorough.
Going back, all of the elven art that was there before is still there. You still cannot touch it. All the art that you moved and or touched, human, kobold, anything else, is moved. Or on you, of course. That did not reset.
So did the Nereid paintings count as elven in this case?
The frame and the painting itself is part of this illusion. I say everything looks like, now that you know it's an illusion, you can sort of tell in a really weird, vague way. There's like a oily, inky aura around everything. If you stare at it for too long, you can kind of tell the difference.
Like that feeling when something looks too real.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
All right, while Sarabi is sketching, you guys are able to indeed confirm that all the stuff that probably was here during whatever this thing is still here, and all the art that you touched has indeed moved. So knowing that, what do we do next?
How many of the rooms have we checked at this point? Like before we got here?
A decent portion, I would
Effectively
say.
all of them, or?
It's a 4-floor building, from what you can tell at least, and there's a lot of rooms. So it would definitely take you guys some time. For reference, you guys did get here around 12-ish. I'd say maybe gauging 11:30-ish, and it looks as if when the clock struck 1, everything just reset. You guys were able to see the time.
Well, we can look around and hope that the statues and portraits that they get sucked into are still around.
Yeah.
And if we get lucky, we can do the same thing as we did with the other portraits.
The portraits that you saw the Nereids get sucked into are indeed still there, and they cannot be touched.
Yes. So where are they is the question. Let's find out.
Where what?
The portraits that can't be touched. Because they're fully illusory, right?
Effectively, yes. You essentially face through them. Now...
Lekka is basically going by the thought that the items themselves, the portraits themselves, are probably somewhere as well.
Yeah. If we were evil, Nereid trapping scumbags, where would we put these items after the fact?
All right, fair enough. So you guys are going around looking for them?
Basically.
Yeah.
Okay. And Aldrin, are you joining them?
Yeah.
All right, excellent. I would say each of you roll me a flat d20.
Oh, good.
Divide and conquer.
Daniel as well.
Alrighty, Mr. Aldrin, as you're kind of moving about, we'll say you go to the second floor, and you find an interesting looking... Time to go to Google. What's a topiary?
Isn't that something planty?
A topiary
I should know this.
is I think it's just like a shrub that's formed into a thing, like a monkey or a squirrel.
Like I said, planty.
Yeah, it's very planty. Okay, cool. Well, there's a garden, and you find a nice little topiary in there. Except you can touch this topiary for whatever reason, and it's shaped very much like an orc. He looks super hot for reference. He is sculpted very well. It's actually a little weird how well his topi has been airied. I'd say being a rich boy, you've probably seen... he probably
has a few in his backyard, honestly.
Yeah, the quality of this is unreal. It is absolutely jaw-dropping.
Okay, is it a little too real?
Too real as in this literally...
Is it anatomically correct?
Oh, yeah, everything.
No.
Everything's anatomically correct. If you're asking if this looks as if a person was turning to grass,
Yes.
No. It's very much, you can put your hand in it. It's a bush, but it's just really well made. Whoever did this put some absolutely loving time into it. And then Lekka.
Sarabi, stop touching the orc bush's bush.
There's a spa. There's a spa.
It's Daniel Maker. Spa, you say?
In a spa where people are relaxing during the early morn, you find basically a general ornamentation. So a rather large hanging ornament on, I would say, a fairly normal bush. These are all tubular shaped, basically. They're all cut wonderfully. They're not shaped like anyone or anything in particular, just columns, basically. But there's a really nice ornament kind of just hanging on it that very much stands out. And inside the ornament is a figure, a human figure that is flexing. She looks quite powerful, actually. She is indeed wielding a spear, and that's essentially it. And she's kind of floating in this ornament.
Fancy.
And then
Right, touching
Sarabi,
it.
you can touch it just fine. Unlike everything else, your hand does not phase through it. Feels real as anything else. Sarabi, you find somewhere in the lounge one of these ottomans looks a bit weird to you for some odd reason. You get a bit closer to it, and you notice that it's a gnome on all fours, or it's meant to look like one at least. The other ottomans look nothing like this. They are just standard ottomans. This one wouldn't stand out, honestly. It's a little kinky, which fits in pretty well here, but you can touch it, unlike the others.
The spell I use to break spells is one I don't have on me, right?
You've rested since last. You do need to obviously rest before you nab it.
Which one is it again?
Dispel magic.
Yeah, Dispel magic or
Oh, it's literal. Okay.
remove curse is also one. Depends on what you need.
How heavy is the
definitely-
statue?
It's an ottoman, like a footrest.
So is it huge?
It's the size of a gnome.
So it's
So it's
small.
not very heavy then.
No, it's an ottoman. It's just a small ottoman. You can move it
I
around if you
will
want.
pick it up.
Okay, it's slightly hefty, but you can pick it up. Are you doing anything with it?
It's her new friend.
I kind of want to take everything we can touch, pull it out of the field, and see if we can dispel whatever.
Okay, do you
I
want to
can just identify everything and see if it's actually magical or
tell your friends this?
cursed before you waste spell slots on it.
All right, yeah, that's true. Team effort. Okay, I will shout this plan.
All right, do you guys agree? You want to just take everything you can touch, pull it outside?
Yeah, sure, and I'll take the statue of the buff lady.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Actually, how big is this statue?
What you found is like an ornament, like a Christmas ornament you put on a tree. So it's like an ornament you can fit in your hands.
Yeah, sure, I'll take it.
Yeah, doesn't hurt or do anything weird to you at all. So looking around, you guys, I guess to quickly run through it, you'll find a lot of shit. There's golden statues, there's a fresco, there's tapestries, there's a floor mosaic at some point. You're not sure that's coming out, but that exists. There's a fountain, paintings.
You'll find anything?
Marble statues, topiaries. Daniel finds a fountain. He finds a fountain on the first floor. The fountain is one is a satyr, and the other one is a bugbear, it looks like, and they're kind of doing the whole Titanic thing, squirting water from various orifices. And it is beautiful and very well sculpted, but you're not sure how you'd move a fountain.
All right, well, we can leave that. We got to test the theory first.
I definitely don't hope that those guys are or used to be people, because if we turn them back, they're not going to like those new holes.
This is true.
Oh, no.
So moving about, you guys are able to kind of pull things out, and I'd say it probably takes about an hour, probably 2 hours to actually pick things up and drag. And let's see. You start at 1, at 2. So
I can identify it inside as well, technically. But
Of course. Do you want to identify as 5 minutes, right?
for me, yeah.
5 minutes per item?
Yep. Okay,
there is a plethora of items. So we'll probably say a total of 2 hours to collect, and you guys get a lot. Like, you guys get a lot. And is Aldrin and Sarabi grabbing them, and then you're identifying them as you kind of get them, Lekka?
We can just gather everything on my Tensors floating disk, I guess.
Okay, that works.
We gotta run around and pick up everything and put it on.
Just find like a nice big room.
Excellent. Yes,
I'll go through them.
Yeah, some of the heavier things you can bring with your disc, and the others are you guys explicitly doing this inside or outside this temporal rift?
Thought we were dragging everything out and then messing with it.
It's probably better if we do it outside, because the temporal rift might somehow interfere or something. But,
yeah.
Okay. During this period of dragging things in and out, you guys do eventually see, of course, everybody go into the auditorium. And after some pause time, the music plays as you guys are still collecting more items. And then the music pauses in the event that you guys know is currently going down. Multiple people are slaughtered. You hear Meltalia and some of their scream, both in rage and frustration. And for the briefest of moments, anyone that's still on the side of this bathhouse, you're kind of phased out for but a brief moment.
With my speech still activated, am I picking up any like new info that's being spoken?
So comprehend languages last for how long? An hour?
I think an hour.
Okay, so
to the chat.
Okay, then it's no longer active.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, an hour.
Yeah. So I'd say during that time when you activated Sarabi, to be fair, since it's technically off, was there anything you were looking at in particular? Anything you're trying to listen to while you were picking things up? I can answer that.
Just the nearby crowd.
Okay. I mean, just, people are really excited to hear Meltalia and others sing. They legit just seem excited. Nothing too crazy, honestly.
You could try to see if you find the other guys, the conspirators.
Were they wearing some sort of marking or anything?
Not that you could tell. We saw them real quick, and that was kind of it. You probably have to get a closer look at them.
I mean, this is going to be replaying. It's going to take us at least a couple hours, so I figure I'll watch a couple times.
Fair enough. And by this point, we have indeed pulled everything out that we need to have been pulled out. And you're just identifying magic, basically?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Like, if these things are actual people, then I should be able to tell with this. Sure.
They're not actual people, but these items are inherently magical. There's no illusion. It is exactly what it is, but it's some form of construct magic. So someone didn't physically make this. It was just made via magic.
Oh, nice.
And outside, it's about 8 a.m.
Well, the good news is that so far none of these people are people, so they are, however, all magically
nice. Made. They can be people if they want to.
I mean, sure. If they have free will and if they can move.
Just ask nicely. All right, having pulled a ton of this shit out, do you guys head back in? Well, what's your next plan? There's definitely still more stuff in there. Like I said, there's a lot.
I mean, we can keep doing this for days, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't think we need to keep looking unless we're looking for those paintings specifically.
There were more floors on this place, right? Up.
So this is floor 1. The second you go to floor 2, this happened.
Yeah, and there was another floor up, right?
It is 4 total floors, yes.
I guess we could check
We
the
just
next
keep
floor.
going
Then.
up.
Who knows?
So you guys did. You guys went to floor 2, 3, and 4. You went all 4 floors. That's where all these things were.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it seems basically floor 2 up is this.
Maybe you were taken outside. Who knows? Maybe you were taken underneath that weird shop door with the big puppy on it.
I was just thinking that.
How long? I mean, we are going to rest after this, aren't we?
Wait, you said it's 8 a.m., right?
Correct.
There's no point resting yet because we're just going to have to rest at night anyway.
More so for changing out spells.
Yeah, well, that needs to be a long rest, right?
Correct.
There
We
are
can't
spells
we
for that.
can't waste the daytime. We'll just do it at night.
We can move to the other area because we still have 2 left, I believe.
Right, is the plan to leave the bathhouse then?
I'd like to find an alternate route to the doggo.
Do try to find like any hidden areas.
Yeah, is there anywhere that goes down?
Anywhere that goes down where? For what?
Like to a below level that might lead to that door?
Does the stage have like a trapdoor?
Very much so, and because you guys can phase through and around quite easily, fortunately, looking down, it just seems to be more storage and such.
Is anything being stored there? Or is it all,
Essentially,
like illusory.
essentially what you expect. Now, there is a floor area under the bathhouse that you guys can see. Gauging and looking about, you're not entirely sure if it connects necessarily to whatever the doggo thing was sitting on.
Well, I kind of want to try it.
It's worth trying.
As you guys begin to look about and move away from this area, you feel a light panging in your chest.
Does it get worse as we
That's
walk
not
away?
nice.
Yes,
What happens if I go back?
it persists, but dies down a little.
And I keep walking towards a direction until it stops?
Closer or further?
Closer.
You're noticing now that this pain was probably always there. Getting closer, though, it never actually goes away. It just dulls.
What's nearby when it's at its dullest?
Looking about, you're not sure there's anything on this floor that's creating this effect specifically.
All right, then I'll ignore it for now.
Also, to be clear, when I say you, I mean all 3 of you.
I mean, I can try casting Identify and see if it's a magical effect or something.
Identify on what?
On any of us. It only works for magical conditions in this case, then. If we have somehow been, I don't know, charmed or something, at least we'll know that.
Okay.
So the last paragraph.
You touch Sarabi specifically?
I mean,
okay.
She brought it up, so. might as
Okay.
well.
There is definitely a spell affecting Sarabi, and it's along the same lines as what created. So the same thing that you sensed from the little statues, you're sensing that from Sarabi.
Is it in any specific location? I ask Sarabi.
If you mean the pain, specifically Sarabi, it is a heartache. It might not be your heart specifically, but it's a rather unique pain. You've probably felt it before, but not on this island.
What do you mean I felt it before?
You've been around for quite some time, so
Can I remember where I felt it before? Is it like a broken heart or something more physical?
I would say similar to a broken heart. Actually, very similar to that, yes.
And I'll describe it as it feels like a broken heart, and it's dullest over here, but I don't think there's anything we can do about it right
That's weird. And you said it was the same effect that was affecting all these statues that we pulled out?
You're getting the same vibe, yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Nereid cast the spell, this time bubble,
I feel something like that as well, yeah.
and I think she has a, just cause to be brokenhearted. So, yeah.
But apparently all of these objects are also feeling broken-hearted. How the hell does that... What?
Well, it's probably just overlayered with, everything. And I imagine the spell's been going on a long time, so don't spells permeate what they're on after a
I
while?
guess it makes sense. Like the maybe it's just the emotion of the spell itself.
Yeah, it's quite potent.
Who knows? Maybe the spell is the Nereid.
That'll make it real hard to rescue her.
Yeah, I mean, you could try dispelling it. Probably not. It's too powerful. Though you did say when you picked up the tiara,
Yeah,
it turned into water, and then everything turned into water.
but it didn't happen when I touched it again, so I think that was just the spell ending.
Yeah, but it might have also been the spell casting. That's how it all started, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. Sadly, I can't identify
I think we need to
a
keep looking
non-existent
around.
tiara. I could sure try. Let's go on for now.
Alrighty. Despite the heartache, where do we plan on looking next?
The room down, right?
Yeah, how far did the down area go?
Alrighty. you guys discover that, we'll say while you guys are talking here, maybe discussing and wondering, is there a floor below us? Well, we do know there is. It's where Doggo is, but is there a floor below that? Let's find out. While we're discussing that, though, we hear a thumping coming from below. Something vibrates. Not like an earthquake necessarily. It's not rhythmic enough, but then it ceases.
What happens if I call out her name?
You call it her name, and unfortunately nothing happens.
You probably shouldn't do it when we just heard something stomping below.
Oh, that's why I only did it once.
Also, while you guys were discussing this, we can say that Daniel was flying about, since Lekka, your intention was to look around. And he essentially came back saying that there's not necessarily a floor below this. Like we're thinking, it's more of a...
A crawl space is still crawlable.
Yes.
Especially for Lekka. He can walk through it.
Yes.
It's more of a sewerway.
I mean, that works. We can... I mean, the big-ass puppy was in a bath, right?
That's
Yeah,
actually
that makes
perfect.
sense. Well, it makes sense and it connects. So.
And it shouldn't be too icky because it hasn't been used in a long time. Not for, that anyway.
Yes
the
and
other
no.
one might be using it.
What, do you think the lizards have been using it? You.
Yeah, maybe. Lizards do live in the sewers, according to many Floridians. I'll just have Daniel scout the way as we go in, I guess.
Alrighty, excellent. Like I mentioned, despite all that, it's around 8 a.m. now. So still pretty early. We move on down, and we'll say it's past the dog. There's a room on the other side of the bathhouse, and this led to basically the utility area, which then leads to the basement, which is effectively sewers. Opening the door, you're instantly met with an incredibly potent stench. It almost punches you right in the face. The jungle itself, it's not rot. The jungle itself, it's got some smell to it. When you get to the real thick jungle, and you get the kind of, I don't want to say moldy smell, but, just really, really humid, this immense humidity upon opening this door, and a little bit of mold. Smells like something.
Just a moldy smell.
Yeah, real moldy.
I mean, like as a cave dweller, is it like the tasty kind of mold or?
Not really.
Not too bad.
Is there supposed to be tasty mold?
Technically.
I mean, yes. A lot of cheese is tasty mold, or has tasty mold. Lekka definitely knows his molds.
It's also obviously pitch black down here, so we can either Kitsune maybe
Foxfire.
or
Foxfire.
Aldrin's Ring. Both those work, yes.
I also have the light spell still.
Alrighty, you're able to light the way just fine. No issues whatsoever. And
Bunny, is this still day 19?
it is day 20.
So wait, were we in that time bubble all night?
You were in the time bubble from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Losing time over here. I still have day 19 in my journal.
Is the hunger getting to your head?
Oh no, please don't remind
Oh
me.
god.
She's getting
Please
dumb.
don't remind her.
There's only one tasty nearby and I can't touch it.
Well, there
Him.
was also
Damn right you can't touch it.
what is it, Jessie's what's her name's brother? Sadly, you missed out on that.
He was virginal.
Shy is the word, I believe.
What?
I mean, he didn't want to go inside the hut. That's up to him.
He was particular.
A man of fine tastes.
Not fine enough, thank you very much.
Clearly.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he was willing. He just didn't want to do it in like the woods.
True. I did get a rain check.
Indeed. And we do know where he is. So, moving about and whatnot, I assume we move forward into this underground area.
Yes. But I do so with skills of disgust.
All right, the whole time you were squealing with disgust. Excellent. Moving on through, the smell only gets stronger, the humidity increases, and you can see at the end of this hall, it opens up into a large circular room. And then you hear a splash or two of water. It's not a light splash, it's rather heavy.
My poor fur. So, are there rats down here?
Looking about, there actually are no rats that you can see or hear.
That's sus.
That do be mighty sus, though.
Oh no.
Well, use your lights to light the room, I guess. Is there anything in it?
The room is indeed lit. Are we moving fully on into it?
Wait, is it lit?
It's no.
Or
I
are
mean,
we lighting it?
you guys are lit, therefore making everything
Okay.
around you lit. Yeah, you guys are so lit, it's just ridiculous. Don't even get me started on how lit you
but-
guys are.
Oh my
No,
god.
it would have been a different story if the room was already lit.
Correct, it is not.
I can send my kitsune bee out to light up the distance.
Indeed, you can. About 20, 30 feet.
30.
Perfect. When you do so, you hear another loud kabonk in the water.
Guys, I don't think we're alone.
Can the Kitsune bees go underwater?
Let me check.
It is technically fire. Yeah, it's firelight.
Well, no, it's a flame-like radiance.
Okay.
Some light spells aren't actual flame or anything, so
Alrighty.
It's a radiance, so that it should be okay underwater, right?
Probably.
Also it goes 60 feet. My bad.
Excellent. That's much further. All right, you're able to move forward just fine. You can see the walls are covered by this fuzzy green and kind of blue moss and such. You see these like various like sacks kind of stuck on them. And looking about, we can see.
Hold up, back up.
Yes.
Did you just say sacks are stuck in the mold?
Yes.
Yes. The famous moldy wall sacks.
I hate you.
You don't like moldy wall sacks?
They're my
All right.
favorite.
All right, continue.
I think I
Did you
will.
know? That's how orcs are born.
Yeah, they just wiggling out. They drop to the floor. Their spores
Orcs are
spread.
mold.
Shh.
They just pop right out of the walls.
Shut up.
Shut. I command shut. Okay.
They start out as goblins, then grow larger.
Looking forward, you also see some roots that are. So to rewind a bit, since you move forward, you're asking, I'm putting your fire in the water. The pathway moves forward. You can see there's multiple pathways that also lead back to here. Looking downward, there's a large circular hole in the middle of this room. There's about a 10-foot or so walkway around this hole in the room. And down below, you can see various large rocks that are coming up out of the water and some roots that are growing up out of the water and onto the walkway where you guys are standing.
Do they move?
As you send your fire on down, something moves beneath the water.
Good. Would we be able to use some basic math to figure out whereabouts we are underground right now?
How deep down, you mean?
More like, are we in the vicinity of where we assume the big puppy is?
You guys are actually below it.
Is this the same direction?
You guys are definitely below it.
In that case, I'm going to look up and see if there's a hole.
There's not a hole. There's a flat ceiling.
Yeah.
Position-wise, you guys are probably under the bathhouse.
Yes, but not directly underneath the thing.
Right, you guys are probably under the bathhouse itself. Like under a floor. So
Then where does the hedge go? There has to be a secret floor above this.
looking across this circular area, it does seem to be... there's one more path that leads outward, but it is just completely covered by just brambles and overgrowth and such. And mold, of course. Wonderful, wonderful mold.
Oh, yes, our favorite.
Vicious orc mold.
Just eat through it.
So if I send my doohickeys underwater, does it see anything?
The water is very dank and, well, brackish. You are definitely letting off light, but it's difficult to see what's down there. When you do this, though, the figure moves again, this time more rapidly, and you swear you can hear one of the branches around you moving.
I look down at the branch.
It ceases movement. It kind of just like shudders.
Oh, no. I'm not falling for that, you dumb tree. I set it on fire.
You want to set the branch on fire?
Yes.
With what?
Produce flame.
Okay, you're gonna just blast it?
How
Blasted.
big is this pond area?
I would say it's about... You know what? Well, let's make this easy. This map is relatively accurate, as you guys are kind of moving around. We will say, as I mentioned, there's a hallway on each side. And there's some water pouring in various holes around this area here. The hole itself is... Okay, that's not the right button. The hole itself is about 70 feet across. And you cast Produce Flame on one of the floor tendrils?
Yeah.
Excellent. As you do.
I'm going to ready an action when she does that. And I won't tell you what it is.
Is it a spell?
Yes.
Oh, you have to tell me you're concentrating now.
I'm concentrating on a 3rd level spell.
Okay.
Let me DM it to you, actually.
Sure.
Because I can do secret rolls anyway.
I mean, you can whisper it.
You can whisper, yeah.
You can whisper, yeah.
It was just /GM, right?
Test it? I can read that. All right, assuming they can't see it. Excellent. Perfect. Alrighty. Well, in this wonderful position, Sarabi, you do indeed blast it. It does not whittle away, does not catch on fire, but it does indeed shudder again, because why would it not? And you hear a deep, deep rumbling come from below. And as you do, the water washes to the left and washes to the right as this massive grassy mound pushes itself up from under the water. I'm going to go and throw the wonderful art of this little beastie in the Discord for you guys.
Little beastie, huh?
No, he's huge.
Good.
It's adorable.
My favorite.
He's a plant, right?
He looks very planty, yes. You're getting a very plant vibe from this individual. And it pushes up forward. All the water and any leftover clothing and sticks and bone all wash off of its head. All these spines are sticking up from it, and its massive mouth faces towards you, lined with teeth. You see a bone stuck in it. Slowly opens, and inside its mouth, you see a massive eye. Looks directly towards you, Sarabi. And if you could be so kind as to roll initiative for me.
I guess time for fireball.
So I do a scroll speak with plant.
You do?
So if you want to apologize before we die.
No.
Maybe he's nice. Maybe all those bones in his mouth are, bad people.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right, technically, I'll leave it up to you, Lekka. This is why it gets kind of weird. Did you want to cast that spell prior, as this thing was raising up out of the water?
It was a readied action, so technically, I guess.
That makes sense, okay.
It should go off before my next turn at least, so.
Yeah, and you're first, so you're basically taking 2 turns. So, what say you?
I guess I'll use it, like the moment he services.
Sure.
Like, the logistics of this is going to be weird, because he isn't technically standing on it. Look how big it is.
That is indeed quite large. Is Sleet Storm just, there's no damage on this one?
Nope.
Okay.
Just concentration, everything is now ice and everything is obscured as well. So like he's basically stuck in a big piece of frozen water, supposedly. And he won't be able to see us. And we can't see him either, technically.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
like, realistically, this spell should have effectively turned this entire pool into a block of ice, weirdly enough.
it is very icy, but it's not a full-on block of ice. Things are starting to freeze up rapidly. You guys can no longer see whatever this thing was. It didn't get a full chance to rise up out of the water. It's probably frozen over. You can definitely hear things moving around, and there's definitely sloshing and such. And while this is happening, I guess top of the order, Lekka, what do you do?
So what's the plan?
We had a plan?
I mean,
Since when was there a plan?
do we want to take this thing down?
I mean, can we run by it?
It currently can't see us, and we can run past it maybe. Actually, can we?
You guys came from the left, which is completely open. The right is totally blocked off by various plants and such. You're not sure by how much.
We could potentially blow a hole through the right side. Assuming we can walk like along the side of this area. Or I could try talking to it.
Up to you. As I said, there are various plant tendrils and bits that are basically covering the entire walkway. Not fully. There are plenty of places to walk. It'll just be relatively difficult.
Go ahead, but I'm going to pull out the staff and ready fireball.
How does this actually work?
What are you trying to do?
I'm just reading the speak with plants scroll thingy.
Are you wondering how the spell works or how to cast it?
Yeah, I'm not even sure if I can use it on this guy.
I mean, it looks like a plant. Speak with plants says you touch yourself, so you don't need to touch it.
Yeah, but you use it on plants with limited sentience within 30 feet and give them the ability to communicate with you.
Mm-hmm. He's close enough.
Yeah, but is he limited sentience? Because
That I
he looks
can't
very
answer.
sentient to me. And also, I can't see him right now.
Correct.
Is it sight-based?
You know he's there now. If that'd be the same as there being smoke around Aldrin. You know he's there. You can speak to him.
More so like casting the spell.
You don't need
Because
to. You don't need to see a target. It's a plant that you're aware of that's in 30 feet of you, so you're good.
Alright, might as well try it. I'll try to cast this scroll I found.
Cool. It's a third level, so
Druid Ranger.
all right. Go ahead and roll me just a wisdom check.
Straight wisdom.
Straight wisdom. All right, 17. That is more than enough. So, my friend. Oh, it's not concentration, is it?
It is.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want to give it to somebody else,
Is it?
or
You give it to someone else?
it's
Is it concentration if it's cast from a scroll?
yes.
Yeah.
Wait, it doesn't say concentration.
Yeah, it doesn't say concentration. I don't think it is.
Oh.
I thought
All right,
it was.
cool. Weirdly enough, no, it's not. All right, cool. You don't need to concentrate on that. So your ice stays, and you indeed succeeded. You can go ahead and delete the item, and suddenly you feel that there is indeed a sentience in front of you, Lekka.
No? Can you hear me?
You hear the cracking of the ice, and you hear general shiftings about. The room rumbles slightly, and initially you just get a feeling of like a confused, like effectively a huh? Which like is it basically like, is someone trying to talk to me?
Yes, I'm trying to talk to you. Sorry about the ice. I'm scared you're going to murder me.
After a pause, you just hear it say, "Feast."
Well,
That's not good. I say.
I don't know what you're talking about. That sounds fine.
You can't hear him.
I know.
What? What do you say? Was I right? Was I right?
I think he wants to feast on us.
Fireball!
I tried.
Do you
Turn.
move at all, Lekka?
I mean, can I move at all?
Yeah,
Like, how much
you-
space is there behind me, or do I need to move along the wall or something?
There's 5 feet around you. So looking at this map, you have up to the edge of this rock, and then 5 feet out from that. So there is basically a 10-foot clearance.
Okay. Oh, you can't see me right now, so that's fine. But I don't want to be, near.
And once you get about halfway across the circle towards the other door, it's rough terrain. But here, you're fine.
Okay.
Alrighty, moving
I'm
towards.
gonna move. Let's see. I guess I'm going to move slightly back into this hallway thingy.
Sure.
And that's it.
All right, you move back to where you came from. And Aldrin.
Wait, so plan to leave? What are we doing?
I'm just hiding right now. If you want to kill it, fine, but I'm not sticking next to everyone else.
Casting fireball.
I will go
It's
over
not
here.
your turn yet.
Oh god. Since all the settings reset, I have to wait for the token to slide over.
I'm helping him
that later.
pre-plan.
I will bother to use this for once.
Oh, emboldening bond. Excellent. What's
Make
the
it a 60-foot range. With
60-foot
my
range?
flexible aura.
Okay. You can actually give yourself an aura if you open up your token settings. You should be able to give yourself an aura.
Well, it's not just on me. It's anyone that has this on them, as long as they're within 60 feet of someone else that also has it, then it works.
Very nice. All right then.
Within 60 feet of any of us.
Okay, it's a pretty small room, so we don't need to make an aura for that. I'll get messy.
And I believe that is an action.
Smells like an action.
Then I guess I'll go fake me.
You toss the fake you into the ice water?
Yeah, he can be down there. It's fine.
Alrighty.
Well, how
He
far
doesn't
down
need to
is it
breathe,
actually?
technically.
You don't hear a plop, but how far can you summon him from where you are? 30 feet?
He can be 30 feet away from me.
Okay, so he'd be here and about here, and then okay, can I do negative 20? Yep. Okay, he'd be there then. Out 10 feet,
Okay.
down 20 feet.
That works. And then I have an extra 10 feet. I will sit in front of Lekka.
That's a lot of feet. All right, what does Daniel do?
Then you'll go fly in there or something and, I don't know, give advantage because everyone has disadvantage attacking him right now, except for Sarabi.
Please don't send him in there.
He doesn't need to be in range. So.
He'll only blow up.
I don't want to kill him.
So Daniel's
He's
moving
also
in and
flying. He's also flying above the guy, so he
He's
can't
help
really,
help actioning above him.
basically.
Alrighty, Sarabi, you have your stick ready. You rolled a 1. Sorry, you rolled a 2 minus 1. Beautiful.
Ha ha ha.
Alrighty, and with that, there's you don't need to see him, fortunately. And there's an explosion of fire down below.
Does he screech in pain?
The vines and tendrils shudder amongst your feet. The ones across the way shudder even more, as you can definitely hear it moving about. Ice is cracking and melting. And there's obviously an explosion of cold and heat. We get blast.
This isn't War Franco.
And while he does indeed sound frustrated, you get the feeling that
make a dex save.
it was not as effective as you thought it was.
Annoying.
A dex save or what?
Or he falls prone.
Well, that is indeed a failed dex save, but he cannot fall prone.
Well, that's just cheating.
I know, right?
If he's concentrating on a spell, he also needs to make a con save.
All right. Fortunately, he's not concentrating on his spells, so he does not whiff there. But moving.
It's also
Hmm?
difficult terrain, yeah.
Hmm?
It's also difficult terrain.
Excellent. Moving around though, you can definitely hear frustration, and it's slow. You can hear it slowly scooting towards where you guys are. Oops, I'm going to cover your token. There we go.
Like inside the area, he also has. Well, he can't see us. He's obscured.
Indeed. Tendrils slap up against the floor around you, Sarabi and Aldrin. And these are different from the ones you saw before. The ones before looked like roots. These look like vines proper. They're wet and soppy. As they slap along the floor, searching for their prey, they leave behind a strange, sticky residue. And it looks directly towards you, Sarabi, yes?
It wasn't as effective because he's wet, right?
He is incredibly moist. You are correct.
Ah, damn it. I didn't think that
moist
far
blood.
ahead.
He can't look directly at Sarabi.
And Sarabi, with disadvantage, the creature will swing at you. We'll double disadvantage, so -2 on top of this. That's
That
a
was a
2.
double disadvantage.
He has disadvantage because he can't see, and also disadvantage, I think it's range. Yes, because of also range. So you guys are relatively far, and also he cannot see. So he has disadvantage due to the bullshit, and also due to the bullshit.
No.
So it whips past you, Sarabi. Fortunately, missing. Same for you as well, Aldrin. A tentacle goes flying across, slamming into the wall. You're barely able to dodge it. You can hear the creature moving and writhing about. Lekka, what do you do?
I will cast a spell of the cantrippy kind.
Excellent.
Actually, how close is he right now?
You could tell by the sound of the movement that you definitely got closer. Obviously, you can't see, but it sounds closer. You saw it in the middle.
Is he close enough, or does it sound like he's close enough to be next to the platform, basically?
Not next to the platform, but close.
I don't want to risk it yet. So I'm just going to, fire lightning out, I guess. Because he is wet. Was it lightning lure that was it?
Yeah, that's the save.
I'm going to go to the farthest point I can see and just try to fire it in that direction, not hitting. Actually, he's 20 feet down.
He's under. You're good. Yeah, you're safe. He's under. All right, you launch this bad boy forward, and that is a strength save. It does lightning damage and would normally pull it. Does it pull towards you if it fails?
If it fails, yes. If it fails, it gets pulled towards me.
Alrighty. Well, it does indeed fail.
Let's see. Up to 10 feet, so I can say no.
All right. Do you want to keep him where he is?
Yeah.
You're normally used to the sound that creatures make when they're struck by this Lekka. It should normally be a sound of pain. Instead, because you can understand him, it instead sounds reinvigorated.
Say what?
You don't hear this. Guys, don't use lightning spells. And I'll step back behind Zeldrin.
Why? Why not?
It seemed to like it.
Oh, dear God.
It ended there.
Huh.
Okay.
Well, use another turn to do this.
Blessing up.
I am a buff bot for now. I think that's all I can really do.
All right, your allies are glowing, you're shining, you're beautiful.
Damn. Does that mean we have 2d4s?
So the emboldening bond only works on one thing per turn.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But yes, technically, if you only do one attack, then it's 2d4s attack. And it will auto add one of them. You'll have to do the other one afterwards. Won't let me untarget everyone.
I'm gonna try ice after this, and if that doesn't work, then I'm out of tricks and I'm gonna run.
Is your boy a bonus action, or...?
He would basically just be attacking in place of me if I had an action.
Understood.
That's all I really got.
Alrighty. I assume Daniel reapplies annoyance?
Yeah. I mean, it didn't even get used to it.
Indeed. Well, you can't really target him if he's heavily obscured, so... Alrighty. Daniel is annoying again.
I'm not even sure if it's sight. I think
Robbie.
it just says within 5 feet or something. Or that you can see within 5 feet.
Wait, so do we have to see him?
Yes. He is heavily obscured.
It just means disadvantage on attacks that use attack rolls. So preferably use AoEs or something. Anything that requires a save is also fine as long as you don't need to actually see the target.
Would it be a normal roll?
It'd be a normal roll, yeah.
Advantage, disadvantage?
Yeah, effectively, it's blinded.
Okay, what did you say, DM?
Any attacks against it, effectively you are blinded, and effectively he is blinded. So anything has disadvantage. You can technically kind of see it, but that doesn't need work. That is a bonus action. You can use your action to shoot a cantrip. You do have a saving throw cantrip. Toll the Dead is a saving throw. If you're wondering, Robbie, I will say in this particular scenario, you guys can attack it, and it can attack you. The only downside is everyone's blinded. That's basically it. And if you go for that, then that's also fine. You will indeed succeed, so it'll take half. As your bell rings out and echoes throughout the room.
Can my sword attack or no?
It already did. I already took it.
All right.
Yep.
Wait, where did I roll it?
1d6 plus 4 when you summoned it.
Whenever you summon it, it attacks.
Yep.
Oh, got it.
Alrighty, and then, again, this time with standard disadvantage, it moves even closer this time. I'm not going to say its body mass crushes your boy, but he's gently moving him to the side. Let me just kind of like scoot him over. There we go. That way the tokens aren't... that way you can actually see your token. All right, and once again, it will lash out at you, Sarabi, multiple tendrils flying towards you. And as those wildly miss, they will fly towards you as well, Mr. Aldrin, smashing against the walls, and this time, crashing directly into you. Ah, that one is neat to miss already.
And my Sleet Storm is doing work.
The creature slaps its tentacles along the walkway in which we're all standing, and you can hear more of the ice shifting.
Oh, it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'll step away from my cover, which is Eldrin. So instead, I'm just going to cast Realms Binding Ice. See if that has any effect.
Oh, I've been messing up. Oh well, reading is hard. All right, the ice does indeed have an effect against this one, and he did indeed fail, meaning he is rooted in place. As ice once again forms around him, he cannot move.
And I'll move back behind my car. Well, at least he doesn't seem to regenerate from the ice. That's a good one, I guess.
It did not heal him, you were correct.
How close is he to the edge?
Very. You can't tell, but very.
I'm gonna try stacking advantage, if that works. Bonus action, what's it called again now? Draconic Cry?
Yeah, sure, yeah. You do know he's close enough for that. All right, Aldrin, your turn, sir.
Try to smack him, I guess. And then I will.
All right, with two.
Bonus action heal myself.
Are these from your copy?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. 2 swift blows from your lad. You are indeed able to make purchase, and he doesn't seem to be resistant or immune to them in any way, shape, or form.
Well, that's good.
Very. All right, Daniel has super advantage stacked on the boys, so the next attack will have advantage +2, Sarabi. What do? You can technically see him. Bonus action, you can attack with your scythe, by the way, if that's not a spell. It's just an attack, so you can cast a spell.
I'm going to Death's Call, Path to the Grave, myself.
Is that a bonus action, though?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
It
that's
is
fine.
when she does the selfish one, right?
Yep, that
Yeah,
means you use an
that was
action to
fine.
cast a spell. All right, well, that's fine. The scythe doesn't go away for a while, so.
Guiding Bolt.
Hey, good choice. Alrighty, well, you rolled 17 2 times, so that's fun. Alrighty, and he is now weak to that, correct?
Yeah.
Alright, so he will take a double 17. And as he's struck by this, there's another instance of advantage on him. This isn't confusing at all.
Yeah.
Well, only on the next attack, of course, but you do indeed strike true, Miss Sarabi. And as his tentacles begin to writhe along the floor and up the hallway and moving about, the creature seems to be in position and will no longer have disadvantage on any attacks.
He's not even bloody yet.
He's not even close. He hungry, though. So one's coming out to you,
Right.
Sarabi. As you are smashed against the wall, it also,
I think we should run.
normally yes, one of the tentacles grab you firmly, though.
Of course.
Another one
I'm running.
lashes out at you, Aldrin,
Well, that's not very nice.
also striking you, and you are also grappled. Fortunately, you have to hold on to your spell, and you can hear it shifting closer and closer. All the little tendrils amongst the floor are rubbing up against you guys and the walls and everything around you. All right, the Draconic Cry is gone, but the Daniel one is still there. Oh no, the Daniel one's not there anymore because Wifey used it, so the Guiding Bolt one's still there. I think it was the first time we actually had a lot of advantage to stack there. All right, Luca, what do you do?
Wait, sorry, why is he not attacking with disadvantage anymore?
Because he has Blind Sight. He's had Blind Sight the entire time, I just didn't read it.
Nice.
Oh,
Don't worry, he didn't have Blind Sight for the first 2 rounds.
I'm fine with
I mean,
that.
that's probably for the best because he hits really hard and he hit every single one of those attacks otherwise.
Indeed.
I'm not constricted, right? No, good.
No, you're not grabbed. It doesn't see you.
I gotta move back.
Good luck, everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, the big guy can't move either because he's still obstructed. I'm not sure how it lasts though. What is Eldrin considered what? Grappled, or is he?
Both of them are considered just grapple.
Do I have anything to force move a player? Probably not. Actually, I do.
It's fine. I'll just die.
Your strength saves are probably good, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can choose to fail it though.
And they're plus 2d4.
Like, I'm not sure if you're allowed to fail these saves.
You can choose to fail any save.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just let something happen, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you wouldn't be able to.
You definitely can, yeah. I think we discussed that before.
Dust you. Push you like slightly to the side.
Oh my god.
I think I made the save.
Oh
but-
dear
think?
lord. I pushes him what, 10 feet?
I think 5 feet only.
Yeah, 5.
Cool. You're pushing him 5 feet away from you?
Like, I want to push him away from the tendrils, basically, steady.
Regardless of the direction you
If
push
that
him,
works.
he'll be, regardless of how you push him, he'll be freed. So,
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to push him in the water, you know?
correct, yeah. I'm not going to do that, don't worry.
And then I'm going to take a step back. Before I do that, I'm going to use another Draconic Cry, because why the hell not?
Sure.
You have like 3 uses of that anyway.
All right, after you use that, you push your friend with a gust of wind and shoot back down the hallway. Aldrin, what say you?
You see like Lekka appearing behind you going, yeah! And then he pushes you away and walks away.
I'm in danger. I guess I'll just smack it and, well, can I try to save Sarabi?
Of course, yeah, of
Pull her
course.
out of the
Yeah,
grapple?
she's currently grappled by various tendrils, yeah. You can do
I guess
if you're trying to save her, you can try cutting through it, or you can try a contested strength throw.
I have this, so I can just try to, like, cut her out, I guess. I just use that sword
Oh god, does
damage, I guess.
it have stats?
I believe so.
It's a +1
Oh, it
magic
does, yeah.
sword, so it should.
Yes.
You can roll it. Cool.
Smack.
Alrighty, with those 2 quick strikes, you're actually able to completely sever the vine. And you guys can hear this thing just roar out in defiance, echoing again through the hallways. It falls limply to the floor and begins to sizzle. You can actually see some of your armor, Sarabi, is beginning to kind of heat up and meld. Fortunately for you, though, Elgin, you notice your weapon is perfectly fine. Whatever acid and goop was on these things does not affect your blade whatsoever.
All right, time to run away now. Good luck, Sarabi.
No, running's a good idea.
What do you mean? We only hit it like 6 times.
Does Daniel do annoying round 3?
Yeah, might as well.
All right, does he fly out after that?
He's just gonna like fly above it and be annoying and then fly out as quick as he can.
All right, that works.
Because he has like 60 feet of movement anyway.
Alrighty, so Robbie, what say you?
Quick heal.
Oh, I'll drop concentration on the sleep storm because it's literally not doing anything at this point.
You're
It's a
free.
free action
There we
anyway,
go.
so
As you sprint by, the creature slams up against the wall again as all the ice and fog begins to dissipate. Unfortunately, you are the closest, Mr. Aldrin, so it will reach out towards you. The slamming strike, wrapping around your legs and attempting to pull you on in, buddy. Only other thing you can smack is your boy. All right, it is indeed Miss the Echo. The other you is safe. Aren't you happy?
No.
And now you can both see and hear it moving closer and closer.
I accidentally ended my turn.
All good. What do you do, Laka? As you guys are,
Echo.
yes, he's indeed more than
Yeah. Goodbye, Echo.
goodbye.
As I run away, I'm gonna. What's the range on that? 90 feet? Yeah, that should be in range still. Fire some more snowballs at his ass.
Okay. I'd say he's definitely in range. He's not far away.
Snowballs. That's
Dex
5
is-
entire damage.
Not his strong point.
I mean, neither are my die, apparently.
Sadly,
That's
yeah.
a 2 and a 1.
At least it's not half. He is buffeted by tiny snowballs and takes full damage, but seems more interested in devouring Aldrin.
I don't like it here.
All right, my friend, what do you do?
I'm gonna try to leave the grapple. Strength check to get
Yeah.
out, I'm assuming.
You're going to strength against him? Okay. You can actually roll me athletics if you wish.
Athletics.
Yeah, you might have higher athletics. And if you don't, it'll be the same exact check.
Then wait, shouldn't I get 2d4s on that? Or is less on ability checks only?
It probably only applies.
It's
less
on
automatically.
it's on saves, right? Plus.
Oh, attack roll or save, yeah.
Yeah. Is the other one on checks though? I think so.
I believe the other one's on everything.
Okay, yeah. Go. I mean, it doesn't matter. You need more
Let
than
me make
before.
sure.
I mean, that's a +1.
Yeah,
plus
it
4.
doesn't matter anyways. I need both of them. Well, I'm staying here. Goodbye, friends.
So I forgot. Breaking out of a grapple, is that an entire action or is one of your attacks? I think it's one of your attacks, isn't it? Or it's the whole
That was
action?
an action.
It might be the whole action.
I can action surge and go again.
This is true.
I mean, it's either that or probably die, so I might as well go for it. Action surge, and I will go again.
Alrighty.
Oh, well.
11 against a
Roll four.
22, unfortunately. He really wants you, Aldrin. He holds on tighter. Slowly
my
pulling
friend.
you in.
Could you stop doing that? I guess it is full action.
Alright, does Daniel bother going back to reapply, or does he chill here?
He can do a help action technically to help you escape, I think, right? I can never remember what the hell escape help does. No.
He can help peck it free, yeah. On his next turn, he'll have advantage. If you want, he can help
I mean,
with that.
I assume that by his next turn he'll already be dead anyway, so...
He's rather low on HP, yeah. Is that what you want to go with?
I guess I'll try to have Daniel try to be in his face and see if he can, I don't know, taunt him effectively and take the dodge action.
Okay, well, what's the point in moving in?
To basically be between the monster and Eldrin, so he starts swatting at me.
Okay. To basically just be annoying?
Basically.
Okay, cool. I'm trying to check your intention. All right, excellent. He does that, and yeah, he's been pecking him the entire time. That's definitely annoying. So, Robbie, you see your friend is grabbed by another tendril, and he's slowly being pulled towards this thing's maw. What do you do?
Can I reduce flame it?
You very much can, if you wish. For reference, the AC of the tendril is incredibly low, and he only takes half damage from fire, so that's only 4. And while you see it begin to singe, it's not enough damage to actually break it. You do still have your bonus action scythe.
The scythe doesn't miss.
The scythe definitely does not miss, and it slices clean through the tendril, freeing Aldrin again. Alright, seeing this little turd in front of him,
Hurry up, Aldrin!
he will swing with disadvantage at him,
Yeah, still gonna hit.
and unfortunately he will still hit as he whomps the bird out of the sky. And he sees his initial target that he really wants to eat you. I don't think I understand how much he wants to eat you, and will lash out again.
All right, grappled again. I'm unconscious, actually.
Unconscious and grappled. As you see Aldrin grow limp and flop to the floor, he's slowly being dragged again towards this creature. And now it's moved even closer. It's pushed itself up against the side of the walkway where you were all standing. You see that eye open and begin to roll back as its mouth opens wider and wider.
Okay, that's just not fair.
He can't move still. Rhyme's Binding Ice will stop him for an entire minute unless he uses an action to
True that.
get out.
Mhm.
So at least he can't move.
You'll just be pulled into the water, Eden.
Exactly. If he's unconscious, can he technically save on dex saves?
He
Or
automatically...
strength saves?
I believe if you're unconscious, you automatically fail.
Like any save? Or
I think dex saves are automatically
Just-
failed. I could be wrong.
I think it's a strength save, though, right?
For what?
Gust again.
Oh, for Gust? Yeah, that's definitely strength.
Does it also automatically fail?
you automatically fail strength and dex saving throws. And it's pushed up to you, so you don't have to move him at all. Wait, yeah, you do have to move. So you move him 5 feet.
Yeah, I do have to move like behind him.
Yeah, you can usually move toward the enemy and then blow him towards you guys.
I mean, I can also gust him, but he hasn't gone out of hill. I have to move behind Eldrin. Gust Eldrin away.
And then
Why
scoot
are you
him
coming
forward.
back in?
He's ping-ponging your body. It's okay.
No, it's fine. I'll use my, what's it called? Magical sorcery point thingies to make this a bonus action and then dash back out.
That works.
Wait, is he pushed even though he's grappled?
Yes, it's weird. Grapple just changes his movement speed to 0, but the moment I push him out with any kind of forced movement, grapple breaks.
Okay.
Which is abused, as you can see.
And then using your action to run back 30 feet.
Yeah, and I still have 5 feet of movement left, I believe, so 35 feet.
Mm-hmm. And Aldrin, you're making some saves for me, friend.
I don't wanna. I'm gonna roll a 1. That's
Or
an
an-
18, I
Oh,
lied.
or an 18, I'll take it. Alrighty, so Robbie, we're doing weird things with Aldrin's body, but he won't know. He was unconscious.
No.
Can I pick him up
Unless it's
and
gone.
attempt to pull him back?
You can pull him. It'll be rough terrain, basically, so you pull him at half speed.
Go that far?
Basically.
And bonus action slap. Wake up!
Hey, there you go. That's a max roll. All right, you both drag and slap Aldrin.
God, you're so heavy!
What do you mean?
He's only like, what, 400
I'm losing
pounds?
weight.
I mean, he's carrying all of
Uh,
our supplies. Literally.
Yeah, I have like 200 pounds worth of stuff on me, and I like 200 something. 5.
Oh my.
Well, the creature's very frustrated. You keep moving its prey further and further, so you hear the ice below it begin to shatter and break, and it pushes itself up against the entrance, and more of its tendrils begin to move up along the hallway. Lekka, you see this, and what do you do?
Alright, time to run. And just to make it very clear that we are running, I'm going to use a spell. It is called Long Stride. I'll cast it at 3rd level
Excellent.
to hit all of us.
Does that double your move speed, or
It's just 10 feet of extra, I think.
adds 10 feet? Perfect.
And I'm dashing, so that's...
What, 20
I
more for
would
you?
be able
You
to
are
dash.
safe. All right, so you're able to yeet yourself basically out of the area
I mean,
with no
I'm
issue.
also using my special magic that I keep forgetting I have, Tempestuous Magic, to move, fly another 10 feet, so...
Yep, you can shoot yourself 10 further feet than that. This hallway isn't even that long, so you're able to just shoot on out of there. Aldrin, you spend 15 feet to stand up, and then you have an extra 10 feet, but you also still have your action to sprint, and Sarabi, you the same. So are you both also following Lekka and sprinting out of here?
Yes, sprint.
Yes.
All right, the two of you follow Lekka in tow as the tentacles slowly just slide along the side of the walls. You can hear them sizzling against the stone, but fortunately for you, it's incredibly slow and is unable to catch up with you all. And the creature falls back down into its hole.
As I was casting Long Stride, I was effectively doing pocket sand,
I hate this place.
The ultimate strategy.
throwing sands in Eldrin's half-dead eyes. Wake up! Move! Run! Alright, so I guess we're not going back there.
Nope, definitely not.
He was also weirdly capable of seeing us when he was, obscured in the mist, so I assume he can also see through my invisibility.
That's not alarming at all.
Yes. And also, Daniel's dead, so I'm gonna have to resummon him.
Daniel's dead?
Well, not dead, he's like pointing around himself, and you'll see like a gust of wind. Immaterial right now.
Daniel.
It'll be fine. I'm gonna have to spend some incense to get him back though, which is weird, but
He likes incense.
apparently he does.
He's a big fan.
I need to draw him like a bath or something.
All right,
He's
well,
stressed
can we take a 10-minute break?
I mean, if he's resummoning the boy, yeah.
It's gonna take an hour. Well, half an hour for me. I think it's an hour ritual, right?
I believe so, yeah. And for you, she'll only be half an hour.
I only need 10 minutes to prepare healing.
Throw it out there.
I'm not sure if it's a half an hour for me.
Bada boom. 11 heals for the two of you.
No, because the spell itself, even if you normally cast it, takes an hour, so it's still gonna be an hour.
You guys also wish to short rest while he is resummoning the lad.
It's gonna take me 55 minutes specifically.
Might as well.
As I use my incense to make like a nice warm bath for Daniel, so he can relax and de-stress.
There's plenty of places to do that here.
Yeah, it is a hot spring island. I use like my bowl of warm water.
Well, that's just perfect.
Hey, I don't suppose while we were in the
Yeah.
library we found a map of the place, did we?
Not there, no. You did not.
Unfortunate.
Alrighty, while the two of you, Sarabi and Aldrin, are short resting, what are we discussing and where are we headed to next? I will say, while you are short resting, the pang in your chest grows stronger.
Like in general or again in a direction?
No direction whatsoever. It is just growing stronger.
And it still feels like heartbreak, right?
Indeed, but it's growing in intensity pretty rapidly, I would say.
Like panic?
Yeah, not panic yet, unless you would be panicking. But no matter which way you go, closer, further away, it is a very noticeable sensation.
I can only assume she's trying to call out to it.
Or maybe they're mad that we took all the stuff out of them. Oh well. I could try having Daniel fly past the guy into like the other room.
But past the big guy?
Because he's fast enough to do that without any kind of danger.
Sure, probably won't expect us to come back.
Hopefully not.
You want? I say, yeah, obviously. Did you want a short rest, Robbie, or no?
Yeah, I do. Hang on.
After you guys long rest, short rest, after the boy is brought back, while he is somewhat hesitant to head straight back in there, we're obviously able to convince him to do so. Like, yeah, sure. Obviously, it's going to break
You
telecommunications.
sacrifice yourself for the greater good.
Yeah. He knows this time he'll be safe, and telecommunications will break for a moment, but that'll be fine. He'll be back.
The other hallway was like obscured, right? But not like impassable.
Not impassable for him, impassable for you guys.
Yeah, and there also wasn't like weird tentacles that we have seen before that might try to kill him.
The wall shouldn't theoretically kill him. He should be fine.
Theoretically.
Theoretically, yeah. It did look different. It looked more rotted, as while this thing was very much alive. So he's able to shoot back down the hallway, shoot through the circular area, and after some time, obviously your telecommunications break with him for just a moment. He flaps about, and he comes back, basically letting you know, like motioning to where we are now. He just kind of motions to the door that we opened to get here and basically says, there's another door past there, but I can't open it.
I'll relay that to the group. There's not a door there. I'm not sure what's behind it, though, because I can't open it.
Well, it doesn't exactly matter because we can't get there anyway.
I mean, we could run.
I don't know. Do you think that thing sleeps? And it had vines everywhere, right?
Everywhere. The further you go through the room, the more vines there are.
Yeah, I don't think...
By the way, did Daniel try opening the door? Because he can actually interact with objects, I believe.
He can, but it'd be far too heavy for him. And or it's locked. Regardless, he messed with it, couldn't get it open. Yeah. Whatever he tried to do.
As long as he tried.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Give him a set of lockpicking tools and have him lockpick it. Which he can also technically do, apparently. You try looking through it, the keyhole.
There was no keyhole.
Alright. Are you sure it's a door?
It looked like a door. He motions to the same door that we're looking at, and it does not have a keyhole. So he's not sure if it was like locked in a key sense, if there's something weird that opens it, or if it was locked due to all the rot and all the tentacles, all the roots around it.
Magical too, right?
Yeah, so he's not sure if it was magically locked, or if it's the roots that are literally holding it in place.
That makes sense. And how far did you say the open space was?
Open space for...
Where the biggest plant monster is.
Where
it was like 70 feet across, right?
Correct. It's about 70 feet across. And then it's about a 10-foot walkway around.
In that case, I am going to have to do some math to get back a 3rd level spell slot with my sorcery points by converting it. I don't know the numbers out of my head. Use my sorcery points to get back a 3rd level slot. It is, let's see, I need 5 sorcery points for that, which I do have, but I need to convert some 1st level slots. Okay. I'll take away 2 1st level slots, which will add 4 sorcery points. And then I'll use another sorcery point to add back a 3rd level slot. 5. Leaves me with 2 left, right?
I think so, yeah.
Right, so I have a plan.
We're listening.
Do you remember back in the house when I, teleported?
Maybe.
Well, if either one of you was able to become small, like, I don't know, a small fox-like creature.
Oh, no.
I would be able to take you with me.
Oh, please, no.
90 feet in a direction.
Oh, no.
You would be
Why?
safe. I would be able to teleport behind the roots in the other tunnel. And if things go bad, I can teleport us back instantly. Or I can go alone.
All right, fine. Do you want to do that now?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be now if you want to wait for Eldon to get back from being zoned out.
I mean, I guess we just need him to pull our dead bodies out, so.
Sadly, I can't take him with us either, but...
I mean, when he teleports back, hopefully you're still alive.
Hopefully. But sadly enough, these teleport spells are limited by size. Anyway, you can only take small creatures, because I myself am small, as you have noticed.
Yes, I've noticed.
With my entire, what did I write down? 2 feet, 1 inch. Yes, I'm very small.
All right, let's go ahead and head back down. I'll transform when we're closer.
Only for the best.
Alrighty, so the plan is to... How are you getting through, Lekka?
I am just straight up teleporting because I need to teleport somewhere that I can see, and I can see through Daniel. Weirdly enough.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, like, if he goes through the tunnel behind the plants, if there's like a nice spot there where I can land, I can teleport there as long as it's within 90 feet. Yes.
Daniel did say that the door is relatively clear of vines, right?
No, the whole area is vines.
Yeah, but is it
the whole hallway is full of vines?
With my size, can I like squeeze through at least?
Oh yeah, it'd be really uncomfortable, but you can.
Yeah, sure. That's what I'm basically planning.
Okay.
And Sarabi is going in fox mode, so she can also kind of squeeze through.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely works. It's just obviously it's gonna be super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Hey, foxes are flexible. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but you guys can wiggle through. It's just
sure.
I can't really think of a accurate.
Like my hope is that the plant monster can't wiggle through.
Yeah, but if his vines are nearby, he could, grapple, drag.
If he grapples us, I can teleport away because that's fine. He can't stop that. I can only do it once though. Well, once up and once back.
All right, well, I can also only transform once, so if we need to brunt force the door, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
Unless we can for sure open it.
The plants in the corridor look very brittle. So we might be able to, I don't know, burn it down a bit.
You
Let me subtract some gold from my inventory for reviving Daniel. Was it 10 gold or 15 gold?
I think it was 10. Alrighty, for reference, I'll bring you guys back to the map. Moving in carefully, of course. Everything is the same as it was. Like I mentioned, the area about halfway on the half point of the circle is all rough terrain, so you have to move slowly through there. But the creature has re-submerged under the water.
Well, now we know that he is apparently capable of sensing us, so he's probably going to re-emerge the moment we step out, I assume. Was there a way for us to tell like how far his blind sense was, by the way, or like a point where he suddenly started swinging more precise?
You're not sure if the hallway was that point because he couldn't see you or because he couldn't reach you. You guys had run in a hurry, so. But there was no point when he did hit you that he was unaware of your location.
Yeah, then we're gonna stick inside the hallway, but we aren't going to go into the actual room and see if he reacts.
Okay. Upon moving in, like I said, you have your little Kitsune bee to see, and down below, it's just moving around in the water. Not above the water, below the water.
Yes.
And as you move about, it doesn't instantly emerge and start thrashing about.
Let Daniel fly over. Like the roots in the hallway, are they like connected to the roots going into the lake at all?
Yes. They're connected like everything. But these look much more rotted.
Still not great though. How far in is Daniel able to get?
If Daniel flies fairly slowly, he can honestly go through the whole thing if he wants. It's less flying, it's more him like bird leaping.
Before he cuts out from my telepathy, and then 10 feet before that.
Okay, so you want him to move in and then warp to him?
Pretty much. It is going to be very loud then. So I assume he can't hear.
The what is it, teleportation?
Yep, because it's Thunderstep.
Oh.
Alright, Daniel gets into a position that is pretty comfortable. Have you turned to your fox forms, Robbie?
Yeah.
On the plus side, the sound will come from where we leave. So if anything, he'll be distracted to the wrong side of the room.
Indeed. And you work your wonderful poof magic as the thunder echoes throughout the room. You don't need old Sarabi anymore. We got new Sarabi. And the water does definitely stir a bit, but not towards our direction. You are suddenly jettisoned across the room and surrounded and partially instantly strangled by vines, but you can move them about a bit. It's just incredibly uncomfortable. They're everywhere. And with a little fire following Sarabi, you guys can see just ahead of you. There are vines completely covering all the walls, ceilings, floors, all the way up to what seems to be a door that mirrors the one on the other side.
We left you behind.
Oh.
We came up with a terrible plan, or rather I came up with a terrible plan.
Oh god.
And I got suckered into it.
I'm using Thunderstep to teleport Sarabi in her small form to the other side of the room.
Oh. So I'm just over here?
Yeah, you're basically keeping watch.
Alright, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna chill.
The plan is if you see or hear anything moving in the water, you shout and run away.
So can we try pushing on the door?
You very much.
Does it, now that we have a better look, can we like see if there's anything blocking the door itself?
There's either something on the other side, or it's the roots themselves that have wedged themselves in the cracks and around. They're just preventing it from being moved. They look like they've completely adhered to the walls, door, floor, everything.
Can I bite at the roots?
You can, and while they're definitely dry, there's a little bit of something still left in them that burns your tongue. And by this time, Aldrin, you've definitely heard the thing emerge from the water. and it's looking around specifically near the hallway you're at, where the big thunderous sound came from.
Do not leave the hallway, by the way. I would have told you to stay like a few dozen feet back, at least.
You're definitely far enough that it can't reach you, but you can hear it. And you can definitely see as it kind of pops its head up and looks down the hallway, and then sort of starts feeling about a bit, and then it lowers itself again, and then starts moving around the water.
What kind of door was it?
It seems to be a large stone door. The one that you guys entered in, you just kind of push and it just slid open. There's a little bit of weight to it, but not so much that it was stuck in place or you needed to, like, elbow it, shoulder it open. You can just push.
Wait, we can try pushing it over?
The other one you just pushed open, correct?
Okay, this one is stuck.
Correct. Yeah, stuck, yeah.
What's is it like rock around it?
What do you mean?
Like it's a stone door and a stone wall, right?
Stone walls, stone door, and there's all the roots that are growing. They're like pushing, they're kind of trying to push into the crack, which definitely is not helping the door.
I shattered the door.
Alrighty, how loud is that again?
It is not loud at all, unless you're inside the radius, apparently.
I'm going to jump back right before he casts.
Or at least that's how I interpret it.
As that goes off, there is most definitely a cracking of the wall, partially of the ceilings as well. You can tell you've definitely done some damage to it. Some of the vines and such begin to like move back and try to like sort of adjust, but real slowly. So you've definitely done some damage to it.
Does it look weakened anywhere?
It looks cracked, yes.
Can I throw my weight against it?
I'll try to claw at it a bit.
In your current form, you're really small, right, Zarabi?
Not really small. Say like a medium dog.
Okay, there's not really enough room.
I mean, that's still bigger than Lek, honestly.
Yeah. For your guys' size, you don't really have enough room to get the momentum to hit this thing. You guys are kind of like walking on like trapeze, basically.
I'll use my claws, scrape a bit at the rock, see if I can pull anything out, make a small hole.
Yeah, can I pull up more vines? A little burn is fine.
Sure, yeah. You start pulling at them. You don't bite them all the way through. You start pulling them out with your teeth. You're definitely able to do that. You're also able to scratch them a bit. And you guys can hear the sound behind you getting a little bit louder. And suddenly you feel all the vines along this area just begin to shudder a bit. You don't know if they're being touched or if they're moving, but they definitely move.
I prick my ears.
As long as Eldrin isn't shouting for us to come back, we're fine.
How's my night vision down here?
You need the fire, so.
If I send it out towards the creature, what's it show?
Oh, towards the hallway?
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of wiggling, but it's definitely over there. You see it pop up and begin to look around. It's difficult to tell where it's facing precisely. It hasn't really opened this mouth eye thing just yet, but it's definitely moving around this area. It saw nothing down there, so logically, there must be something down over here.
All right, I'll pull it back real quick. How's the door looking?
Yeah, do I need to roll anything to check if I can?
So you're just scratching it?
Yeah.
Sure. Dex or strength, your choice.
I shattered it, right? So
it's cracked.
There were some loose pieces of stone. I'll basically try to rip those out. Strength check?
Strength or dex to, like, weasel your way in and scratch. All right. Did you want to assist in any way, Sarabi? Are you just ramming it, or?
I'm ramming
it. I'll have Daniel help me somehow.
Okay. Daniel can also help by maybe moving and trying to like push against various areas to find weak points. Wow, good old -3.
Why do we have a -4?
Because she's a fox.
All right.
And of course, I rolled my beautiful low number.
You rolled. That's the lowest roll I've ever seen. Congratulations. That's actually impressive.
Yeah.
I hate this game.
Daniel roll? I don't know what his stats are. Let's see. He
not
has 3 strength. Yeah, that's not going to happen. He'll try to wiggle his way through stuff with the dex roll, I guess.
You're equally as weak. How wonderful.
Ah, yes, perfect.
Excellent. Alrighty.
I'm still a bit wigged out from dying.
Try to wiggle about a bit. We make some sound now. And looking back, Sarabi, using your vision and light after you attempt to ram into this door, you can tell that some of the tendrils and vines running up and down this hallway are not as old as rotten as they seem to be before. In fact, these look relatively fresh. They're about, I'd say, halfway through the hallway.
I will yap to indicate hurry. Running out of time. Yap.
You've made some purchase. You can definitely keep trying, but sound was made. And it seems it's getting closer.
There is some more math, because I'm out of spell slots for Shatter, but I can change things. Anyway, I cast Shatter again.
Okay. Roll it up for me. And that is a save, correct?
Yeah. If I'm doing it at the stone wall, it is a disadvantage.
Indeed. First one was 9, and we had a 12 here, I believe.
I'm not sure how a stone door is saving, but...
It automatically fails. So whatever you roll, it's automatically going to fail. So you're good there, don't worry. Alrighty, this time, the shatter hits at just the right angle, seeing as the door is already cracked, and it cracks inward towards the room that it is barring you away from.
I leap through.
I sure hope these half-rotten tentacles don't have anything to do with what's inside there. As I jump through.
Thank you so much.
Alrighty, you're able to sneak through as well. And,
Guess I'll just be here, guys.
unfortunately, yes.
Mind me.
Okay, back here, we find what seems to be a storage room. Using your little light to look about, Sarabi, you see 3 wooden shelves that are stacked with crates. There's a barrel in each corner of the room. There's 4 total barrels. And in the barrels, you see rolled up like parchment and such. Inside the boxes, they're not closed. Some are, but mostly they are not. You see various papers and such and things that were being stored back here. Some of the rot and some of the vines and just various junk from the outside has begun to kind of flow in here and knock some things over, but not enough to actually damage anything. It seems this room was actually locked quite well.
Okay. Those parchments,
Mhm.
can I like gently pick them up in my mouth, toss them on the ground, like, like step on a corner and roll it open with my nose?
You can, yes. And you discover what seems to be, at some point, a map of this city.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, found something interesting.
What's that? Are your dancing lights still out here, right?
Yeah, they are.
Right, then I should be able to see everything.
All right, and you see just that. This looks like a step of the city. It's not in its current completed state, but you can see various buildings labeled, some that you've already been to, but the more crazy ornate ones aren't here just yet. This seems to be, like I said, in the planning phase.
I definitely want to keep this. Okay, what else is in here?
Is this of like a specific area in the city or the entire city?
Whole city.
Damn.
It's rather large, but she's able to kind of, slap it down and roll it open with her nose. Looking at the other ones, you see more completed versions of the city. You also see various, like this room and others. So this room's not labeled, but you do see various, library, temple, storage, etc., 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 and things of that nature.
Any hidden passages?
They're not labeled, obviously. It's not that detailed, unfortunately, but you do, after you see this one, which is effectively the completed Hot Springs Island City, Elf City, you do find under everything a folded map this time. And this one looks like it's been worn a bit. Unfolding this one looks to be a rough copy of the completed Hot Springs Island map. And this one's different. This one has this location marked as effectively a hideout. It's just a little X, but it's an X that's drawn in a very specific way. The top portion of the line of the X is much thicker than the end. Sort of like if they had an ink pen and allowed more ink to bleed to the top and it becomes thinner as they draw down. There's another one marked on the right side of the baths. It's a lower floor bath. And you guys recognize this as the room where the spine dragon, I believe it's called, is currently sleeping.
And it shows no way in or out from that one door, right?
Not that you can see, no.
And this room has only the entrance that we came through, right?
Correct. This leads straight to a dead end. You look up, doesn't go anywhere. So it looks like this is a second room that they were hiding.
All right, what else is in
Question
there?
is, what were they hiding?
Yeah, what else is in there?
You see one more room or area that was marked somewhere you've not just been yet. It was actually near the iridescent stair. We haven't been there yet, and this is a larger X. This one seems to be, so these look like they're labeling an area inside. This one looks like it's labeling an entire building. Looking about, you guys find a lot. There's a whole bunch of information stuffed away here. It's going to take some time to read it. I don't know if you want to take some out or just give it a real quick look over. Basically, you're going to have like turbo read if you want like the TLDR.
I mean, I guess. I'm going to have to ritual comprehend language anyway.
Alrighty.
How's the plant behind us?
Possibly getting closer, but you can't tell now.
I mean, Daniel's keeping a lookout at this point, so.
Yeah, Dan's able to look back, and you can kind of keep your fire somewhere in between, and it sounds like it's slithering closer, but at this point, it can't really attack. It can more so just grab and pull you out, which is not any better, of course, but it does look like it's rapidly getting closer. Aldrin, you can kind of see it slithering up the walls, and every other direction, it looks like it's just searching. It's touching.
Aldrin should do a hey, get out of here, guys, shout to grab its attention away from us. Would he know to do that?
If you told him.
Can I tell him in advance?
Yeah, of course.
Retcon?
Mark stress.
Mark
Mark
one
stress,
stress.
yes.
Alrighty. Like I said, there's a multitude of things going on here. First and foremost, I'm just going to kind of like run down this thing because you guys have seen part of this information before. Some of this might be new, so I'll just do it real quick. You guys know that before, the elves called this island the Isle of Light because it was at some point controlled and lived exclusively by some race called the Ancients. These are the snake people that we ran into before, but we now know, unless you guys saw it in the notes before, the reason they called it the Isle of Light is because all the trees were shimmering like diamonds. There was something about them that made them glow, especially when the light hit them the right way. The Island of Light is literal. Something, they're not entirely sure what it was, as I mentioned before, caused the Ancients to go crazy. And while the elves were already trading with folk, they kind of had something open with the dwarves. There was a discussion, there was something, not entirely sure what it was. They're a little hush-hush about it in this part of the notes, at least. But they got the dwarves to come in here, which helped them bolster their defense against said Ancients. The elves mostly built the walls and the city. The dwarves built the more practical aspects of it and helped them with weaponry and stuff and helped them wage war against these Ancients that were completely uncontrolled. They were effectively monsters at this point with no minds. That you see in many notes, they attempted to speak with them, but they were completely gone from something. We don't know what that something is, though.
This island is cursed.
Yeah. You can. They also mention that these snakes, these Ancients, bred very quickly, and because of this, the elves and dwarves basically had a baby boom moment of just having tons of children to replace soldiers. You also learn here that within the soldiers, Sapopa, after it was discovered by Alistaria, who is an elf sorceress, you guys have seen her name mentioned before in the religious papers, she helped to discover Sapopa, and that it was a wonderful drink that could be drank by all. It makes the user feel euphoric. It also doubled your power. Once they discovered this, it became mandatory usage within the elfin army. Of course, as we're aware, fortunately for you guys, you're able to avoid this, the Black Blight, is what they call it, was eventually discovered. It took about a month or so to weasel its way in. Everyone that was affected by it died. Those that lived were addicted. It was too late to stop. They tried to, they died. Or something happened because they took far too much of it. You do know that there's a certain amount you needed to take, but it was a mandatory, you must take this every single day because it made them strong enough to fight against the Ancients. So this was something they had to do. They were losing otherwise. And they couldn't leave the island either due to other things. They mentioned the island guardians. As mentioned before, the non-magic users died very quickly, which led to the only elves remaining on this island and dwarves were masters of the arcane arts. After this Black Blight, they made the singing golems. The users very much enjoyed the sounds they made, and they were created primarily by the dwarves to help tend to the city, while the users were able to indulge in art, leisure, drink, things of that nature. You see various blueprints and such for ways to take Sapopa. They referred to ways of drinking, smoking. One was called, dusting, which you guys found one of those before in the tower. It's that little Y-shaped utensil straw, basically. Two go in your nose, one goes down. You just kind of sniff that bad boy up. And then chasers. You guys did find some needles, or dilapidated needles, but you definitely found them. And then you do see bits here and there mentioned about Hedonia, but nothing really too crazy precisely, besides her helping them with something very particular. And you notice that you're coming to the end of the notes for this specific section, but the building marked, the large one, it's mentioned that the notes for that building specifically were moved from that location to the second X, the one that is guarded by the Spine Boy. And these notes are incredibly important because Hedonia was able to, due to her powers and such, she was able to allow us easier access to elemental planes. And looking at the singing golems, looking at how much they're able to help the city, the elves and dwarves wondered, couldn't we push this further? They do function, but they're kind of slow. They don't run forever, at least not currently. So how do we keep them up permanently? Hedonia had an idea. Alistaria had an idea. So did the dwarves. They all work together. And while you don't have full information here, you've discovered that something to do with Hedonia's teleportation proficiency, if you will, something with the elemental plane. They were able to combine all this in some way, shape, or form, and they hid all the notes away in this other area.
So we need to get under that dog.
All right. Well, at least I know what she was planning to do. I'm not sure if Lekka would be able to figure it out then.
There?
Anyway, is there anything else in this room, or?
Honestly, it just looks like a lot of notes that certain people weren't supposed to read.
Too late now.
Somewhat of a history, but you can tell they were trying to hide it down here. People were not supposed to come down here.
Oh, too bad. I'll take the map, the new one, and that note, and I assume anything else that's like super important, I guess.
There was a lot to look
Head
through,
out.
but you're able to grab the real hot stuff already. And Daniel lets you guys know. He gives you the look of like it's moved pretty far through the hallway. So however you want to get out, let me know.
Ready?
Yep.
We're gonna scaramouche as far as we can back in this hallway, and then we're gonna do the exact same thing back.
Get your lightning jump again.
Yep.
Alrighty, he can move 100 or so feet, and
I mean, the jump can only go 90.
okay. Well, then he can move you guys to a point. You guys can move far-ish enough that you're not necessarily being touched. I'm gonna have both of you roll me a dexterity check. Save is not gonna matter. Go ahead and roll a dexterity check, basically to see if you guys can, with advantage, because you can see them, to see if you guys can move around these tentacles and not piss them off as we get closer, because there are quite a few. You'll have advantage.
Not really.
So roll one more time there, Sarabi.
Then I roll a 14 and a 14.
All right, we're taking the 10.
I have rolled so many ones today.
Indeed, you have. During your polymorphed, that actually works perfectly for you. As you guys are wriggling through here, unfortunately, Sarabi, you are indeed grabbed by this lad. It grabs your little wolf foot. As it does, Daniel moves into place. Lucky you're able to weasel around and not actually get grabbed. And then shaboink, aka lightning step, thunder step.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I mean, I'm grabbing Sarabi, and so
Which will indeed.
Also, do note that lightning step does like do electric damage to everything around me as I leave, so he gets energized.
Of course. How much damage is it? 3d10?
I think
it's 3d8. Oh no, it is 3d10.
it's 10 damage.
Okay.
I rolled low, luckily.
Alrighty. And with that, yes, it is indeed invigorated, but this will break the grapple that was on Sarabi's little foot. And
we just book it.
And you guys just book it. As you do, you can see it pushing further and further down the hallway. It actually lifts itself up out of the water, puts itself up completely against the entryway, and begins to shove its tentacles down that hole, which is not so great. Fortunately, y'all can run.
Well, that room was just filled with paper, right?
Oh, yeah. Very clearly meant to be hidden.
At least we got a map. That's useful.
Yes.
Already with that.
Apparently we have a general idea of what's inside the poppy room.
I'm also thinking, because if they were after the Nereid Queen, they either put her somewhere prominent or they probably hid her away in one of those rooms.
I mean, Nereids are they technically considered elementals?
She said
Higher
specifically,
elementals.
think of her more as a fae creature.
More so like where they were taken from the elemental plane, right? That was my understanding, at least.
She said some of her sisters, depending on where they came from, possibly, but they wouldn't have been her related sisters, more like cousins.
Yeah, okay.
She's more fae, though. The ones you've spoken with, at least. And the ones you guys are seeing in this little flashback. Also, for reference, I can technically mark the day and the hour on the simple calendar, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's not perfect, but it'll have to do. I can even mark which day it is, which is 20. So it's currently going to be 12 p.m., not nighttime, middle of the day. You guys look up, you can see the sun directly above you. It's been about...
I have used up a lot of stuff, though.
It's been about 8 or so hours since you guys have left that weird time loop. We're going to pause here. Were you guys wanting to rest before we continue? Obviously, that's going to be nighttime, which is super awkward by the time you guys are done with your long rest. So it's totally up to you.
I mean, we know if we don't use magic, we can technically walk around. Or were they drawn to like us in particular?
They were drawn to the magic, but at the same time, they would probably be drawn to us as well.
I don't want to deal with it in general.
Fair. I mean, I'm not out of spell slots, and Aldrin should be fine to fight, right?
I mean, I can get by with cantrips, and if I need to use a spell, then I still have enough to like switch around with my sorcery points. But
missing an emboldening bond and one spell slot. That's about it. And hit dice, but
we get any of that back on a short rest?
What, the emboldening bond?
Any of it, honestly?
No. I only have second wind and action surge because those come back on a short rest, and we already did that.
There's no point.
It's just I'm hesitant to do 2 long rests in a row because we're running out of time to get back for the big fight.
Can you
it's still another
do
6
2 long
days
rests
off.
in a row? I thought you couldn't do them back to back.
You can't have 2 long rests in a 24-hour period.
But no matter what, if we long rest and then hide in the hut overnight, that's technically a second long rest, even if we're not actually long resting.
I mean, hiding is not long resting; it's just hiding. So
yeah, we'd just be hiding for 8 hours.
But it's still wasted 8 hours. You get what I mean, right?
I mean, I can use it to finish my crafting, I guess. But
We can just do something else and then
Yeah.
long rest later.
I mean, unless you want to teach me some more words, Aldrin.
No. We don't need to do that.
Damn it.
We can check out the hideout, I guess.
Oh, which hideout?
The big mark, the building.
Oh, the building? Yeah, we can backtrack. It is backtracking, right?
It's just moving around. Not too big of a deal. It's just going to the Iridescent Stair. You guys haven't been there yet, so.
Wait, is it forward or back? I can't remember the map.
Iridescent Stair is the absolute westernmost district of Hot Springs Island City.
So it's going forward then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Is it the top left or the bottom left one in the city?
Bottom left.
No, we haven't done the top left one yet. We were moving down anyway, so.
We were doing a U. We haven't done just the left side in general.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's a equidistant time, so.
Can we pass by? Is Doggo still there?
If you guys casually pass on by, he is indeed still there, having a nap.
I will just tell Eldrin that apparently there's something very important below that guy. No way for us to get in, though.
We'll figure it out on the way back.
So realistically, both work. If you guys want to go to the Iridescent Stair or Ruined Marketplace, still 4
Can I
hours.
urge you to learn, like, I don't know, Banish or something?
Who, me?
I think it's a cleric spell, right?
You mean to get rid of him for a little while?
Banish just makes him go away for like 10 minutes or something. Or an hour.
I'll check it out when we long rest.
Unless he's like not from this plane, in which case he's gone forever. Which is even better, potentially.
Makes you feel a little bad. He's just sleepy.
I mean, we just sent him back to his homeworld.
Oh, that's true.
It doesn't do damage or anything.
Alrighty, so the plan is to head to one of the areas we've not gone to just yet?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. We can decide precisely where next week, but as a reminder, the Iridescent Stair is indeed the one if you want to mark that. That's the one with the big ol' X on it. I guess I can ask, is that where you guys want to go?
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, then I'll end on this note. You guys go to precisely where it is supposed to be. We'll go ahead and jump up by 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. And of course, there are indeed other areas you guys can go to here. This one's a bonus, basically. And it's a bonus I can describe very quickly. Upon moving through Hot Springs Island City, I don't know why I keep saying island, it's just Hot Springs City. Upon moving to this location, well, this is impossible to miss. You check the map, you check the area, you check the map, and shit. It is completely gone. Looks as if someone intentionally demolished this building. There is a very obvious vacant hole where it once was. And that's where we can pause things.